Welcome back to another episode of the Armchair Crew Chief. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with Josh.
I'm here, present.
I got a question for you.
Off the start. Here we go.
Why did the NASCAR fan say after his car broke down?
I don't know.
I guess I should have pitted at the last gas station. These are like dad jokes.
That's for you, Jenny.
Yes. Or why don't NASCAR drivers ever play hide and seek at Darlington?
I don't know.
Because no matter where they hide, they always leave a Darlington stripe.
Always find them.
That could be taken so wrong, like Darlington stripe. It's like, skid marks.
Yeah.
Don't wear your tidy whities.
That's right.
Get a good old skid mark.
Oh, Darlington.
And I tell you what, there was probably some good old skid marks and some underwear Saturday with that Xfinity race.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little teaser to stay hooked for at least half the show.
Yeah, all four of you. Stay hooked.
3.5, depending on what day it is.
No, we love our fans.
Yeah. Yep. Wouldn't do it without you.
We probably still would.
Yeah, we probably would. Just
nobody
would listen to us talk.
We still would. It doesn't matter if anyone listens.
We got to turn this into like Bad Friends NASCAR style. Oh boy, they got some weird names this past weekend on the races. We'll start off with the truck race. We'd already talked about it a little bit. Boys and Girls Club of the Blue Ridge 200. Can we make our names any longer?
Probably could. No, that's as long as they get.
Yeah. So Corey Heim got the pole. He's had some bad luck. Last week he had the engine shutting off as he's running through and leading, and then Larson comes in.
Yep.
And
not the best. He's been like Blaney for the Xfinity.
Yeah, pretty much.
For trucks,
It was a good race towards the end. I thought watching it was a surprise winner, and it was pretty cool watching the end of the race too. So we had 10 cautions, 2 for stages. Pretty much everything happened in stage 3. We had 6 cautions in stage 3. Pretty wild. Grant Enfinger got caught up in some. Corey Heim spun around. I thought he was going to come back. So that was the whole thing, is on lap 168, Corey Heim actually spun around. I think he lost a tire. Like a tire went down. And he had put fresh tires on. And I thought he got his lap back. And I thought he was going to make it to the end. He was just passing people. And Martinsville is just so hard to pass anyway, that I thought he was going to do it. But unfortunately, didn't work out for him. He led 106 laps. Raja led 17. Corey, he actually led more than 106. He led 149 laps, because then he led more laps. Caden Honeycutt got some laps, and Tyler Ankrum. Ankrum was going. It was a good battle at the end of the race, and it was between Ankrum and Daniel Hemrick. And they, as we were kind of alluding to with the Xfinity race, they had some good clean racing.
Yeah.
It's like, why couldn't Saturday take notes from Friday night? Because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So it was a good hard fought battle. That was the Triple Truck Challenge race that he won. So I think he got an extra 50,000. I can't remember what the exact number is on it, but he got a bonus.
Yeah. Now, is that a driver payout or a team payout?
I don't know. I would assume
probably driver.
Probably. I know the 100K is, I think, a team for Dash for Cash.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a team. I could be wrong on that one too. Grossly wrong. They said it before, and I just can't remember.
Yeah. Stay tuned next week.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, Daniel Hemrick, what's cool about him, and they talked to him about it, and so when he won, which he hasn't won a lot,
Yeah.
he pulls like a Carl Edwards off the car, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He did backflips off the car.
Was it clean?
Yes, it was clean, and it was great.
I don't even do backflips on a trampoline, let alone on asphalt or a metal car.
I just didn't want to. At first, he gets up and he's like celebrating, and I'm like, okay, you got to take the Hans off. Let's take the helmet off. You can't do this on a helmet. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. And you kind of like start cringing, and then he takes it off and he flips it. And they interviewed him. Jamie McMurray interviewed him, I think is who it was. And he was like, man, he's like, I had to go, we're going out racing. I had to go like work on this a little bit. He's like, I'm getting old. He's like, it's like, oh wow, I'm like, I'm surprised you pulled it off.
Yeah, it's not for me.
No, I have a flashback to in a swimming pool doing a backflip off a diving board and almost busting my head on the concrete. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Nope.
No.
Got lucky on that one. Just gonna pass that.
I saw the concrete, the edge of the diving board, and then the concrete go by me. I'm like, yeah, no. This was at a public pool.
Oh,
So it would have been even worse.
yeah.
As a young kid who probably just recently passed, they had I don't know if you ever did any of that stuff. To swim by yourself or to go to the pool by yourself, you had the test.
Okay.
So I had to
tread water.
And you had to swim from one side of the pool to the other side of the pool type thing.
Yeah, I feel like I did.
And I was in swimming class. I ended up making friends with like all of the lifeguards.
Okay.
So I'd ride my bike from our house, which was probably about a half a mile, maybe a little bit longer, to the pool, and then go swimming. And it's just like, I'm going to the pool. Okay. And the people, I remember riding with one of the guys to like the corner stop, the stop and go in Houston, and going and getting like Gatorades or whatever, and then riding back because it was raining.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is I've made it. The ultimate of kids.
Good old days.
Yeah, back whenever it was okay to ride around, and you weren't going to get took as easily. So, yeah, I mean, it was pretty upfront race. It's Martinsville. Martinsville's hard to pass, just in general.
Yeah.
Driver standings, we're kind of getting into that. Even though they haven't raced so much. I mean, race 4 out of 25. We got Corey Heim leading with four starts, 2 wins, 2 stage wins. Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, Enfinger, and Friesen are our top 5 for points. So, I mean, I say it was a pretty pedestrian, pretty straightforward truck race. Less bumpy, less crazy than other. I mean, this whole season has been kind of slow for trucks.
Yeah, Martinsville has a lot of opportunity for cautions and a little wishy-washy stuff going on, just with how tight the turns are and people fighting for those 2 lanes and that kind of stuff. So it's surprising how clean trucks is running this year so far, especially at a track like this.
Exactly.
Relatively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then you think about it, like Sunday they had a caution for debris, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Some little thing floating around. Like, let's just, and I'll get on this later. I have some frustrations with the way things are handled. But anyway, moving on to the race du jour, du weekend, was the Xfinity race. It was spicy. 14 lead changes. We only had 9 cautions, 2 for the stage ends, or 1 for actually a stage end because the other one happened. The big thing that happened was at the very end of the race where Sammy Smith got into it with the, it's horrible, Taylor Gray?
I think it's Taylor.
Yeah, it's Taylor. I get them confused.
Yeah, I do too.
But they got into it at the end, and it was rough. I say rough. It was nasty. Like, it looked like Gray had raced him pretty clean. And then Sammy, I don't know what, must have got a bee in his suit or something because he ended up just taking him out. Yeah. And then he goes slow and takes out his own teammate. His teammate could have won the race because of their little things. And,
right.
You got the people come in, and guess who got Mr. Second Place got second place.
Yeah.
Sheldon Creed. Yep. So
keeping that stat up.
Yeah, that's a shame. Almirola did not. I thought we were going to hear about him more.
Yeah.
Just because of what he did last year.
Yeah.
At the race, and he ended up finishing here 13th. So not great. Good old Dean Thompson got 6th. That's a shock in my. I'm surprised about that one. So Allgaier got 3rd. Austin Hill won the race.
Womp womp womp.
Yeah, I mean it was
not a fan.
Big country. Big country. So yeah, that was kind of the bummer about it.
What place was he in? 4th or 5th going into that whole deal?
He was behind Allgaier.
Yeah.
Allgaier was 3rd, so probably 4th. I think he was 4th, or flirting with that 4th, 5th, whatever.
Yeah, things can change so quickly, but back in row 3 or so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and he just again, Sammy Smith just hurt everybody because of hurting.
Yeah.
Allgaier by, I took the guy out, I'm going to win the race. You didn't go.
Yeah.
So you just sat there, which sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate listening to his interview. Just like,
and then they had the altercation there. I didn't see what all happened with Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton was pretty hot with his stuff.
Yeah, I remember watching it. Something silly happened. It like took his whole front bumper off. It was like I don't know. It's like one of those deals where it's like,
was that Harrison you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
His cousin. Okay, Harrison. Yeah, I got too many Burtons.
Yeah.
Too many Burtons. Too many Grays.
You need Wad Button. I can't even talk like he did. And that I remember somebody said, if you have to count how many times Ward Burton says caterpillar, because he's like caterpillar with that Ward Burton accent. It's not even it's not even a Southern accent. It's Ward Burton accent, which is weird because you listen to Jeff and he articulates well, and then Ward. Let's see if I can find out what happened here, because they don't really like talk about it too much, like in his what happened there. Anyway, yeah, so that was Xfinity was probably, I would say, the spiciest race out there. With the incident that happened at the end of the race, we're talking the last lap in overtime. It was pretty wild. Then moving on, the Cup was pretty, I want to say, dull. I mean, you had some good racing, and I'm surprised Fox called it out, where they said, watch Blaney, he's going to come from the rear. He slowly did, but not enough. You can't pass at Martin.
Yeah.
Like, you can't move anybody out of the way. It's not like Joey did a couple of years ago. What was it, 18, when he pretty much took Truex out to win the race, which was, it's like,
yeah, there's no place for advantage on this like style track,
especially with this car.
Like the aero doesn't matter that much,
right,
compared to other tracks. The tires and pit strategies are the only place that you can really like change position.
Well, and that's the thing that was weird about it all too. It's like, this car, when they brought this car out, they were pushing like, oh, it's mile and a half. It's like, you run short tracks too. What are they going to just suck on short tracks?
Yeah. I think I go back to that conversation of like, let's boost horsepower so guys are spinning them out. I want to see some cautions because guys can't handle the throttle. Like, I'm okay with guys pushing hard and sliding their cars through the corners. I know they do pretty much every weekend anyway.
Right.
But let's make it really tough for them to keep them cars going around in a circle. Let's give him some more power. Let's have him power sliding out of the corners.
Yeah, that would be pretty wild.
Because that's essentially like where guys like Logano, you see them at like, where were they? I forget where. He like preserved his tires. He went 60 laps on tires.
Oh my gosh, let's not talk about that. Was Phoenix.
But it's like, if you got guys that know how to
it was Vegas last year.
Okay. If you got guys that know how to like keep their rubber on and still be competitive, that's skill. Like that takes something. But yeah, I don't know. Martinsville's cool. It's a cool track. Like it's Virginia, so it's in the heart of NASCAR's beginnings, and
right.
Not far anyway. And I don't know. It seems like it has more potential, but they need to figure out something to do it to make it more exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it interview wise? Is it a fun race for them to run, or do they get frustrated just being in the line all day?
I mean,
sometimes you hear like, oh, it's really fun to race, but it's not super fun to watch. You know what I mean? Like broadcast wise, like
right. Yeah.
The drivers love it, but it's not the best race ever to watch.
Yeah.
But I feel like this track's just like, it can be a snoozer for everybody.
Right. Way. Well, and if you're not up front, you're not going to win the race.
Yeah.
Because so the race winner was Denny Hamlin of this race. He ended up winning it. He started 5th.
Yeah.
So he was up in the top 5.
Right.
Seabell started 1st. He got the pole 2nd.
Yeah.
Bubba had a really strong car. He's impressed me this year.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of gotten out of that. I think he got sucked into some stuff, whether he wanted to be or not, and that could be a tinfoil hat type thing, especially around, 2020, 21 area. I won't go into it too much. But I think some of that stuff was just planted because of the current climate of our nation at the time.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think he's overcome it. And he's actually showing that he can run this equipment well.
Yeah.
Because working at Petty, he was okay, but he had 1 or 2 good wins, and the rest of them are like, oh, you won rain shortened.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's had a really good year so far, and even some really good showings last year.
Yeah.
And even his interviews, he sounds like he's in a good spot, like mentally. His team's good. He likes his new crew chief.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of potential with him. I think he's in a good spot to be successful.
Yeah, and
so obviously got decent to really good equipment, to run. So
maybe it's got to do with having a kid. Yeah. Maybe that finally is. You got a whole different outlook on life. So maybe that's kind of bleeding over.
I remember, I think it was last season. It might have been 2 seasons ago. Something happened. It was one of his like ticky-tack, like emotional, like fights, like one of those deals. And someone was like, you need to figure out what you're doing. And it was like, he said it was like a light switch. He's like, he took some time to figure out what he was doing. He was like, he apologized publicly to and ever since then, he's been on an upward trend. Like, he's just like, ever since then, he's been growing, gaining. He flicked a switch right then and there.
I always remember that time that he splashed water in Alex Bowman's face.
Yeah.
Bowman was like heat exhausted.
Well, he attacked Larson too on the track that one time. Mm-hmm. And it was like after that, like after those moments is when who knows? Something changed in him, and
Hendrick might have went and talked to him and told him, if you're going to do that again, you better chill out.
It might be. But I'm excited for his trajectory. He seems like he's got it going on right now. He's putting the work in, and he's having really good results compared to his prior seasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's exciting to see what he could do.
Yeah. Our good friend in the 77 caused our first caution that wasn't due to debris.
I hope him and 21 run into each other this weekend. Or 33, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. 33. Let's not mess up the 21.
No, not the actual 21. The 33 fill in.
Yeah. The
Hill Savar.
Yeah, Hill Savar. That would be pretty wild.
I hope they run into each other on pit road and knock each other's motors out or something.
Yeah.
Something extravagant.
Hocevar took out the 17 Sunday, or spun them, I should say, and didn't really take them out. Car stopped, and I mean, a lot of these turns. Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, that was another one where I'm pretty sure what happened was Reddick just like bumped him in the turn a little bit, and Gibbs was like, he got all upset and angry, and what's the right thing to say there? He said some words that he probably regretted on the radio. I mean, one, you're manufacturer teams. Two, you're almost teammates, because 2311 has got to be an extension of Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
And then you're this little dude, and you're getting chased by another little dude, because Reddick's not that tall either. But like Reddick went straight up to him. Like Ty Gibbs said something like, "Oh, you better keep that effer away from me," or something to that effect. And then, you know, Reddick at the end of the race walks right up to him. It's like, "Well, let's talk about this."
Yeah.
So
let's set this straight now.
Yeah. I still think that they should allow these guys to fight to an extent. I mean, you look at the people that dub over Jim Ross talking about these two guys. I think they were truck or something, sitting there like body slamming each other in the turn 3. They're out there fighting each other. It's like, let's bring something like that back. Or better yet, if you want to, you know, express your frustrations at the end of the season, you could pick one person if you want to, and they have to consent to it, and you guys like box it out or something.
Yeah.
And it can be silly, like get the big boxing gloves or whatever, and whoever wins, the loser will donate X amount of money to their charity.
Yeah.
Put a flavor to it.
Yeah.
I think that would help out a lot.
I feel like half the time nobody would do it. I feel like they're all tough guys in the moment, and then
keyboard warrior.
They don't ever want to do anything about it.
Keyboard warrior. That's what I say. So, pretty much the winner of this race dominated this race. Led 274 laps out of 400.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So the winner is the 11 against everybody. That was a silly flag.
Beat your favorite driver.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't say that.
Well, his dad got on him apparently last time. His dad gave him a hard time after he said that.
Yeah, his dad probably could have been there, because they're Chesterfield, which is probably not that far away from there.
Yeah. What? I was just gonna look. What's the first position for? Okay, what fifth place for Hendrick?
Yeah, Larson. No, Chase Elliott
was 4th and Larson 5th.
Yeah, which is a surprise.
Yeah. Well, they don't want people to get too suspicious.
Right.
Sorry, my hat's still on.
I mean, keep it on. I think we were talking about this when Larson won last week or 2 weeks ago. You see somebody going up to the car, and somebody goes, "Oh, well, they were doing X, Y, and Z." It's like, yeah, but when you catch it out of the corner of your eye on TV, going up to the bumper of the car and like bending over, like they're pulling something off of it or something.
Yeah,
it's like that leads things to, you know, speculate and figure out what's going on. Yeah. So Chastain said he was confused because Joey Logano came out, and Logano's name calling wasn't warranted. Logano blamed Chastain for triggering an incident that led to Logano spinning in the final stage of the Martinsville. This was from NBC Sports. Briscoe and Logano raced side by side. Chastain, when Briscoe came up the track and hit Logano, who spun. And Logano said it was kind of a pick of them, the time the things that Ross just sticking it in a tight spot. He did it to me on the restart before, but I can't even blame Briscoe for shipping him. I think he got himself in a bind trying to ship him. He just races like a jackass every week. I keep paying the price. I'm sick of paying the price. In my best Logano voice. And then Chastain's like, you got anything to say? Or Logano said, not at any moment, nothing to say. And Chastain's like, I'm confused by what he said. I haven't heard since he got out of the car. And had time to cool down and look at it. I don't believe Briscoe was trying to get me. I don't think that. But my thing is, like, Chastain's one of those dudes that let him. Hendrick did the worst thing for the sport when he went and complained about Chastain and what they did, the hell melon and all that stuff.
Right.
I blame Rick Hendrick for that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you took one of the most entertaining parts of your sport and you dulled it down because you got in a bad mood.
Yeah. Hey, it was he didn't break any rules.
Yeah. This isn't Bluey bad mood. Yeah, so news coming out of that. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these fines and everything. Truck Series, the 71 team was fined $2,500 for loose lug nuts. The 00 team of Xfinity fined $5,000 for lug nuts. Jeb Burton, Taylor Gray each fined $5,000 for confrontational. There we go. Behavior at the infield care center post race. Let's bring out the big tweezers and let them just beat themselves with them things. They're not going to hurt themselves. Sammy Smith fined $25,000 and docked 50 driver points for initiating contact with race leader Taylor Gray on the final lap, causing a multi-car incident. It was deemed a violation of the member code of conduct. And then lastly, for Cup Series, I have this one down somewhere. Where to go? Eric Jones was disqualified from the Cup race for failing to meet the minimum weight requirements.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just...
They're already set to a buffer zone. Like, how is it? This is what, third time in this season and last? Like, between last season and this.
Right.
This is the third time, second or third time. I think Byron was light last year. Or one of the Hendrick cars was. And
yeah, I don't remember.
You're already given like 35 pounds of buffer. Like,
right.
This is your weight. You're allowed to be within so much percent of that.
Right.
And they're still off. It's like,
right.
How, guys? Like,
the kicker though too is now Hendrick's a little bit different, but Eric Jones, he didn't win the race. He wasn't up there. It's like you're not gaining a advantage for doing this. So why are you still doing this? Speaking of Legacy Motor Club, there's some more information that's come out with them. One of their sponsors just sold, I think it was Dollar Tree, sold the Family Dollar portion for like a $3 billion loss. And then the big kicker that came out just recently is Legacy Motor Club is suing Rick Ware Racing because apparently they had a legal binding agreement that next year Rick Ware Racing was supposed to be giving out their or selling their charter to Legacy to field a 3-car team.
Yeah.
And they backed out. And they claimed that it was legally binding. So they're suing them.
I just don't get, like, how do you forget that you signed something? Like
yeah.
You think you're going to get away with something? Like, if you did actually sign that, you think you're going to get away with it?
Right.
Or,
right.
I don't understand how you
just
forget or try to play dumb, like, oh, we didn't sign anything.
Whoopsies. Oh no.
You think anything has to do with, like, changing a mind with LaJoy, trying to have more cars available for LaJoy next year? Or
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was... It was weird. Yeah, I don't know. And then you have, like, this is hilarious. This is Martinsville. I gotta play this. This is gonna go. This is Frankie Muniz, talking about fighting in there. Let's see. Here we go. So, going back to trucks, we were talking about this. Frankie Muniz, he's got radio gold. And this is hilarious. Like a couple weeks ago at, where were they? Atlanta, when they had the kitty litter going in the car. I think it was Atlanta. It was,
yeah, where was that?
Wherever Kyle Busch won.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Atlanta or not. But then he was like, I got to turn off my Creed CD. And he starts singing Creed to his crew chief. Well, this happened too. And take a listen to this.
The 71 behind you. Roger. Oh, he's my friend. No friends out there, all competitors. Oh, I'll still punt him. I'm in the mood to fight tonight. Let's get in a fight tonight. It is Martinsville, so right place, right time, I'd say. I don't condone fighting, though. I'm here for a good time. And Frankie Muniz goes after the guy who finishes 29th. They're in a fist fight. Hey, Frankie, you are currently 29th. Fuck, I gotta fight myself? What it's looking like down here.
They're having a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad he's making light of it because he is not doing so hot in trucks, just bouncing back the trucks real quick. Yeah, that was pretty rough. It's been a rough season, and go figure. What's his name? Deegan, not Haley. Hayden
Rides dirt bikes.
He's gonna be running a truck.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember what truck it is, but he's gonna be in the truck series.
What's the minimum age on NASCAR series? Is it 18?
Depends on the track they're at.
Okay, because he'd probably be between 16 and 18 right now. I bet he's younger. I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's see.
He was a really good motocross rider.
Is he the one that got in trouble?
Probably. He's a Deegan, so
somebody just got. So to compete in top 3 National Series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, you have to be 18. However, NASCAR allows drivers as young as 16 to compete on tracks that are 1 mile or less.
Okay. Short track package.
Yeah, right. Let's see if it pops up, and I can tell you the truck information. I saw it pop up when I was looking around and stuff.
He's older than I thought. He's 19.
Okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right. It's not even popping up here. Because everything's popping up Haley. He's banned and suspended for 2025 at AMA.
I just saw that.
Yeah, it's I saw it pop up unless it was a joke.
Street racing in Florida.
Yeah, which I mean, we are hovering around.
I mean, his dad was like literally part of the original Metal Militia, like freestyle guy.
Yeah,
so
right.
like, it's not really a surprise.
Yeah, maybe it was a joke that I saw then.
He might spice some stuff up in NASCAR.
It would be interesting, unless again, this is we're on April 3rd. I could have saw it on April Fools, so who knows about that? That would be pretty bad. We're making all this stuff interesting here.
We are.
False reports coming out. Anything to get a viewership. No, we're just kidding. Yeah, the Cup race still. I'm still stuck on that. So I was thinking about this. Why are we still doing stage breaks and throwing cautions? Like, award the points. I get it. But why can't we go back to the old style racing?
Yeah.
They tried it with the road courses.
And they went back.
They went back because the road courses were finishing too quickly.
Yeah.
That's dumb in my book.
Yeah.
I think it plays a good strategy. But, I mean, you're wasting 5 laps of the race under caution per stage break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why do we have to have the street sweepers up there street sweeping for 2 laps?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to get the marbles off. They didn't do that back in the 90s and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they wrecked, sure, but
get the parts off.
Yeah.
Get the safety issues out of the way. Let them race on the rest.
Oh, we're gonna throw a caution, a street sweeper caution, because we need to clean the track. No.
Yeah.
That's my beef with NASCAR right now, with that kind of stuff.
Trying to make it like a laboratory. Perfect, clean.
Right. I mean, why? Let the cars race. They're stock cars. And then Denny does a burnout and all the rubber, and then that flashes back. I'm thinking about it, like, oh, they need to clean the rubber off the track then, because Denny catches on fire. I remember, what was it, 3 years ago when Harvick was still racing? I think it was Bristol. His car caught fire because the rubber got caught up there.
Yeah, the exhaust.
Right where the
And they changed the exhaust right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Some engineer somewhere thought it was a good idea.
So, going back to what you were saying, Austin Hill's going to make his first Cup Series start, driving the 33 at Darlington. First of 5 races he's set to compete in 25. Penske has been having a heck of a year.
They'll sneak up at the end of the year. You watch.
They got to do something.
They always do.
They're winless. Blaney keeps blowing engines.
Yeah.
He wrecked at the. I mean, the reason he started at the back was because I think he blew a tire and spun, and wrecked his car. He's had the worst out of all of them. Cindric has been okay. He's been a lot better than I thought. And then Joey's just Joey. I can't stand that dude. Maybe he's okay in person off the track, but around the track he's not.
Yeah.
He's annoying.
Yeah.
Just watching it. And speaking of watching it on TV, Mike Joy calling out the Xfinity race. That was interesting. He called it a dumpster fire, and then he came back and said, I'm wrong on that. And you're like, oh, he's going to correct it. He got in trouble. He's like, dumpster fires are contained. They're not even a dumpster fire over at Xfinity.
We need Lee Diffie for Xfinity.
Oh, I don't know how that would work out. That would be wild. Or that dude, Ozzy Man, that does all this stuff. You got to look up Ozzy Man if you don't know who I'm talking about. It's got a lot of language in it, but the dude's hilarious.
Some Cletus going on.
Yeah, something. That's happening this weekend. Freedom 500.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Yeah, the 6th.
Saturday?
Yeah. Because I wanted to go. That was something I was looking at going to beforehand, but I had a photo shoot that ended up getting postponed for other reasons. Sunday. Well, rain, and then the person who's taking his senior photos ended up spraining his ankle. So it's and the joy of playing sports and the joy of the springtime in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Freedom 500,
and they're gonna have a lot of people running. It's gonna be a good one. I have to find that like Freedom DVR or whatever they're calling their thing.
Yeah, they're doing their own stream.
Yeah, they have their own stream.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Anything's probably better than Netflix. So sorry.
No, you're not. At least Netflix didn't freeze on Mike Tyson's butt. Uncovered butt. Yeah. That wasn't done on purpose. Wink, wink.
I don't think that cameraman's in the production business anymore.
Well, it's kind of hard whenever he just walks right in front of your camera shot walking away. Oh, man. So, we are heading over to Darlington this year, or this week. Let's get you some times for Darlington. It's throwback weekend.
Yep.
Why don't you fill in our the wives that listen that don't fully understand Darlington weekend?
What do you mean fill in?
Educate.
Throwback paint schemes, all the throwbacks, Unless you're like 2311, you don't have throwbacks.
Well, it's not even so. It's not even paint schemes that are throwback. Like the broadcasts are going to be throwback. They wear old blazers, and I mean it's wild. It's cool.
It is cool. I love it.
So we'll recap real quick.
Is it the oldest track? Is that why they do this? Is it the oldest running
track? I don't know. You think
I think it's one of the earlier ones.
I need to get all these like random information.
No, it just keeps the fans coming back.
Okay, so and speaking on that, good segue into that. It is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR running this year, running at Darlington. Oldest running track. You think I would know this? I should know this. I probably do know this. That's not really. Well, 2024 Craftsman Truck Series was at the Milwaukee Mile, and that's the oldest continually operating motor speedway in the world. Opened in 1903.
Wow.
So, and incorrect, Martinsville.
Okay.
Oldest running tracks on the NASCAR Cup Series. Well, I say that. Let's see who they have in here. Martinsville occurred more than 70 years ago. When it didn't have a name. But it's been running since the 40s.
Yeah. So maybe because we were there last year, that's why I'm remembering that fact, and I just got my tracks mixed up.
Could be. Because NASCAR was founded in 48. So,
yeah.
Here we go. Top 10 or 8 oldest NASCAR racetracks. You got Road America, which they're not really running at anymore. 1955 as it opened. Darlington opened in 1950. And built by former racer. I remember hearing the story about this because they had the pond in the back, and that's why it's a paperclip.
Okay.
Because they had to narrow the one end of it because of the way the property was.
It's really hilly too.
Yeah. Had to build the track in such a way because he didn't want to disturb a minnow pond located on the west side of the property. First race was held at this track on Labor Day in 1950. That's where the throwback comes from. Throwback used to be on the Labor Day.
Okay.
That's the Southern 500. Nicknamed the Lady in Black and the track Too Tough to Tame. Because it's a fairly flat track, too.
Right.
And that's what makes it more challenging.
I know when SVG was first coming here, that was like the other drivers, and his biggest concern was figuring out Darlington, because it's like, it's not just like Daytona where you just stick it on the wall and just go. It's like, you got to understand how to race there, or else you're going to be in the weeds.
You're going to be sitting at the Infield Care Center.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 6 is Martinsville. 1947 opened. 5 North Wilkesboro. That'll probably take over. Opened in 47. Richmond opened in 46. And it's still being ran.
Yeah.
That one's and then this is stupid because oldest.org. All right, you're getting a knock for being stupid because they slapped the LA Memorial Coliseum in here. That's not a racetrack, so that one gets nixed.
It is for like 34 hours every year. No,
not anymore.
I know.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway opened in 1909.
Wow.
And then the last one, which we mentioned, is Milwaukee Mile. 1903. The state of Wisconsin owns that one, which I find is interesting that the state owns it. It's a state property.
It is interesting.
It was located at the Wisconsin State Fair Park, so it's similar to Nashville Fairgrounds that everybody wants to try to revive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, interesting. Interesting to figure that out. So, going back to Darlington, we're looking at 75th anniversary.
Yep.
We talked about the egg.
1.366 mile.
Mm-hmm. And the nostalgic tribute as competitive racing honors its storied past at Darlington. And I'm telling you, I remember it was cool watching the crew, TV crew, because they all dress. I think Jamie, she had a one of those like pink poodle skirts on.
Okay.
I mean, it was kind of neat looking.
Yeah, I like Darlington. I was there once. Night race.
It would be fun to go to.
That's super cool. Especially if you're in the South.
Yeah.
And you don't love the heat. It's a great way to watch NASCAR.
Yeah, especially at night. Yeah, big time.
I wish more tracks had lights.
Yeah. I got asked, why didn't Pocono have lights?
That would be cool.
I'm like, it's huge. But then it's like, it's the same size as Daytona.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to disturb anybody. What are you going to disturb, the deer?
Probably just money. Just the money it would take to light that track.
And it's privately owned.
Yeah.
It's not, well, they're all privately owned, but to the fact that it's not Speedway Motorsports or SMI owning it.
Yet.
I don't think they're going to own that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of all that nonsense, it's sad to see Nazareth Speedway not coming back. That would be a cool one to go to. I came close to walking that track for a environmental site assessment. So a big time turkey farmer in the Northeast by the name of David Jandal bought the track and was putting warehousing on it. And it's wild because it's just right off of the main drag to get to it.
Yeah.
And then there's houses around it on one side. And, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They ran, Xfinity ran there. I think they ran IndyCar there, too.
Okay.
For a little bit. It was pretty wild. That's what we need to do. We need to find some old tracks that we can just go walk around and check out like Dale Jr. did. Just redo the whole Dale Jr. Lost Speedways.
Yeah.
And do it again. That would be cool. Or just show up. So just a recap of what this weekend before we keep going. So Saturday we have the Xfinity Series practice and qualifying on CW starting at 10 a.m. Cup Series practice and qualifying on Prime. Excuse me. On Prime, 12:35 and 1:45. 3:30 on Saturday is the Xfinity Race on CW, and then 3 o'clock, which means it'll probably start at 3:30 on FS1 is the race, the Goodyear 400 is what it's called. That will be there because the Southern 500 is still there. It's the one in around Labor Day.
Yeah.
So that one will
That's
still
the one I went to.
Yeah. I would like to go to Richmond and do that too. Richmond would be a good one to see, especially at night. I think they only have one race. I don't know if it's a night race still or not. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
What's your pick this week?
Picks. Yeah, we haven't even done picks yet. Let's go to the betting odds. Well, first of all,
we can do the betting odds and then make your pick. That's what we'll do.
Well, or paint scheme review. So we have we do have a special podcast that came out yesterday on paint scheme reviews. Be sure to check that out. It is a video, so you can see the paint schemes, and you can see our special reporter who was paid in candy, maybe.
Wait, I want to get paid in candy.
I do. I want to get paid in anything. I want to sponsor.
We need to reevaluate our contracts here.
Yeah, we just get paid in water.
Yeah, it's good for me, but I want to re-up my contract here.
We'll bring it to arbitration at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yep. He put his out. He didn't pick a paint scheme favorite one. He had some that he had really liked.
Yeah.
I think we're in agreement that it is the 20.
Yep.
That one's pretty slick. Yeah, the DeWalt.
20, 21, and 22 are all very cool.
Yeah.
They're all really cool.
Yeah.
It is Hendrick, but the number 5 is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool throwback.
The only thing, and this is about that one, there's a couple in Xfinity that hit me on this one too. And okay, so I get with the Skull Bandit throwback-ish car. You can't do it.
Yeah.
But why not get permission to put, like, the code? There was a car that looks like Kodak. Get the Kodak. Or there's a car that has, like, is using the Nesquik style setup because it was a Nesquik sponsor, but it's oil, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
Is the sponsor.
Yeah, I saw the paint, but I didn't realize it wasn't Nesquik.
Yeah, it's not Nesquik.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a copy of it.
Close enough. We'll see the lawsuits come out next week when they say it's too close to branding.
Yeah, right. I mean, anyway,
a lot of cool cars.
Yeah, that's the whole cool.
A lot of thought. I mean, I guess Blaney's using one that his dad paint scheme had used.
Yeah.
Or similar to.
Yeah.
A recreation of.
The Chase Elliott one, I think, is the most falls flat on its face. It was pretty dull and boring, and just when you look at the sponsorship, like I think it went back to Ruderman. I could be wrong on that, on the name. It was one of those names that sticks out that he was doing a throwback to, and it's like, you know, that one. A lot of people were like, he really did that one as a paint scheme throwback. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
So, segueing over from there, our betting odds. If you have a gambling problem, please contact 1-800-GAMBLER. So, Larson's entering as a favorite with odds at plus 450 following his victory at Homestead, and Tyler Reddick and Blaney are also strong contenders. Larson plus 450, Reddick plus 650, Blaney plus 700, Denny Hamlin 700, Byron's up there, Seabell, Logano, Briscoe, Bubba, and Chastain. I think you know what, I'm going to go out on a I think Briscoe is going to do something here.
All right.
If he can, you know, maybe his crew chief will go somewhere else. But I'm looking Briscoe.
Looking and hoping.
Yeah, it's a big hope.
I'm gonna go with Larson. I know he's the favorite, but
it's a sure bet almost.
It's a. I mean, the stats are there.
Right.
He's coming in as likely statistically number one. Obviously, you don't know when you're going to get punted on the last lap, so who knows what could happen. Not so much in Cup, but apparently Xfinity, that's what you do. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's...
I just feel like his style, Reddick, I mean, obviously, both him and Reddick, they can run fences anywhere.
Right.
And it's, you know, with the style of track, a little bit flatter. It's
hard to diamond the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's two different style turns.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
I feel like anybody, I really like any dirt racer. Anybody that went dirt racing to get their roots is like some of my favorite drivers. You can just tell. They drive.
Right.
They can handle situations better.
So who's going to win? Who's going to win with the most wins then? Or who's going to have the most wins by the end of the season?
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of think Blaney has a good chance.
Okay.
He's good at winning races when he can finish them.
Right. Yeah. Engine doesn't expire or anything like that.
He's a good finisher. I I don't know. Larson's a really good racer, but he just can't finish well all the time.
I think Larson's a good. I think any of the Hendrick cars are going to be a good stable. Do we see a push? You know, the way Elliott's running, do we see a push of him getting better equipment now, or arguably better, spent more time, whatever you want to call it, in R&D, than the other guys? Because it's got to be one of those things where you can't be equal. You say you're equal, but obviously when you look at it up there, it's like you guys aren't equal racing,
right?
And there's, I think, as much as they can, they're, with the exception of like the setup, everything's shared.
Yeah.
And I think they share the setup too. Some of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So,
and whether that's are they trying the same stuff? Are they trying?
Right.
I mean, I think
that's their starting
in the early part of the car. I think there's probably a little bit of stuff that they're trying. Hey, you try this way, we'll try it this way, and we'll come together at the end.
Especially since you don't have practice.
Yeah.
As long as practice anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of wild.
You pretty much are learning throughout the race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That came up a week or two ago. They're talking about, I forget who it was. I should remember. Someone was up front the whole race and didn't make any adjustments.
Yeah.
And then maybe it was Bubba. And then by the time that the third stage came around, they ended up between 5th and 10th. Yeah. And they were running in dirty air, and the car wasn't handling like it did when they were up front. But they didn't make any adjustments the whole race because they didn't need to, because they were up front.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And it's like, they almost say it's almost a bad thing to be up front the whole race.
Right.
Hamlin obviously won this week, but it's not as much of an aero race. I mean, there's always aero involved, but
but you're still beating and banging off people, so you're aero.
It's not like you're doing 200 miles an hour and everyone's in a line and just kind of playing the air game. It's
right.
a little bit more of a racer's race from a handling aspect.
Yeah.
But you almost want to be making adjustments throughout the race because you don't have practice. You don't have time to be, okay, let's put you behind 5 cars and see how your car does. Let's put you up front. Let's put you at position 2 and see how your car does. Like, you don't get that. You're doing that during the race, which I kind of like that in a way, but also don't like it.
I miss the practice. I miss the amount of practice they had. I wish they had a little bit longer.
Yeah.
For some of that reason.
I think also, too, from a fan standpoint, there's always different perspectives. So, like, I'm sure the drivers don't miss it sometimes when they don't have to be at the track all the time.
Right.
But from a fan, it's like, if I'm going to go to a race, I want to go see as much as I can for my dollar.
Right.
So I'd rather see cars on the track. I'd rather see, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how do you keep everybody happy?
I think that's the the beauty of the iRacing stuff.
Yeah.
It's made it a lot easier that you can get behind a car, and it's not going to hurt if you accidentally hit the wall.
It's a lot less expensive.
A lot less expensive. So, yeah.
Very good.
That'll be our picks.
We'll need to start writing down our picks so that we can see whether we're right or wrong.
Yeah.
1 week seems to be a long time. I kind of forget who I pick.
Oh, I forget.
I'm pretty sure I picked Busch last week, but I picked Byron in my fantasy, so apparently I had 2 different thought processes going into last week. So I don't know what was going on there. I think I picked Busch in my fantasy for home track at Vegas. Mm-hmm. And so I already used him up on my 36. So I think that's why I went with Byron.
I was gonna say, if it was your wife, it would have been Bowman in the 48.
Yeah, or the 84.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember his name anymore. Does he even still race? I don't know why I need another charter. They should just take him out of the car and use that car.
Right. I don't. Oh my gosh.
Poor guy.
Who are they going to put in the car?
Poor guy.
Poor guy. My left foot.
He should have stayed away. He should have
stayed trying to get into IndyCar and actually make it relevant there.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Speaking of IndyCar, I saw something that was like, stock cars. Oh, we're hitting the wall. IndyCar. Oh, we just ran over a paperclip, and it's like this huge, big wreck of everything. It's like, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Fastest sport in the world, right? Sorry.
Depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
How did Tony Stewart say? Fastest sport in the world around turns. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
So, who knows? All right, so we'll have our throwback race, and then next week we're prepping for the last great Coliseum, getting to Bristol.
Yep.
The Bristol Day Race. It used to be dirt. It's not dirt anymore. So we're getting spicy here in the next few times.
Yeah.
Then we run into Easter, and Easter is Rockingham.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
And that's in the Carolinas? Is that North Carolina?
Yes. That's one of those tracks that revived but didn't need as much revitalization.
Yeah. They have a pretty big weekend scene there, I think, already.
Yeah.
So there's obviously been updates, keeping that kind of stuff going.
Yeah, they had the lower levels running. Cars, I think, was it Cars Tour running? Something like that was running there.
Yeah.
So they were still, like you said, they were keeping it up and running. It's not like North Wilkesboro where, we got to cut a tree out of the middle of the track and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll see you guys next week, and be safe and have a good one.
Yep. Get you next week.